Hey everybody, Signet here with the Bullish Bears. There's been a lot of activity lately on trading options, a lot of discussions all through media, social media, newsletters, emails, and when we were talking a lot about options in the last few weeks with the in the swing trade chat room using ThinkorSwim, people have been uh, frustrated with setting up ThinkorSwim in a way that makes it comfortable for them, makes it easier to trade options on an intraday basis. So I kind of wanted to show a few examples and perhaps give you some ideas on ways that you can set up ThinkorSwim for an intraday trading strategy. So what we want to do first is if you look in the upper left portion of ThinkorSwim, you've got monitor, trade, analysis, scan, market watch, charts. When you're on charts, you want to look here at flexible grid. This is the flexible grid when it has not been set up. So if you've been in here, perhaps you've messed around, adjusted things, built something, you can go in and you first can just reset the entire thing, and that'll make it look like this. Now we want to kind of break it down, break it out, and build it in a way that makes it user friendly to do some options trade from right here at the grid and not have to go over to the trade tab and look at options in an options chain. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of that box right there. Maybe add one more. I'll add two more, and then we'll split this one in the middle. Now remember, you don't have to build this exactly like I'm building this. What my goal here is just kind of give you some different ideas and different things that you can do, and then you could go mess around with this and perhaps come up with something that fits your goals and your trading style, and make it more personable and comfortable for you. So the first thing we need to do is decide what we're going to trade. So we'll go ahead and we'll just do something very liquid, something like SPY. And then here to the far right, I'm going to use the drop down menu and I'm going to choose options. Now, when you first use the drop down menu, this is normally what you would see, right? It offers you all, and then you can go to recents and positions, futures, and blah, blah, blah. We want to go to options. And what we want to do is click in there, type in SPY, and hit the enter key. It's very important that you hit the enter key or it won't bring up the SPY grid. So you can see here that we now have the options grid and we can choose what option we want to trade. Right? So if we're looking at SPY in a bullish market, maybe we want to trade the calls. So we can look here, take the call at the money, and now we've got an option loaded into this chart. Now, we don't want the chart, right? We want the active trader. So we'll flip on to the active trader and we'll turn off the chart. And now we've got that SPY call loaded here in the active trader. We got to give ourselves a little bit of room. So we'll just kind of clean this mess up here. And then perhaps we'll reduce the size of this one a little bit. All right, so we got things cleaned up a little bit. And remember, you still have this drop down here. So you can change the quantity, put on the auto send, all of that good stuff. Close that back up. Now we've got some volume, right? Some TPO. And then we've got buy orders, sell orders. We can enter our positions here. So we don't need the sidebar in this one anymore. We're good to go there. Maybe we'll spread it out just a little bit. Give it a little bump. It might have been too much. We can kind of adjust this a little bit as needed, right? You take a little time and, get it as comfortable as you want it to be. That ought to be pretty decent. We got some pretty good volume on those. All right, so we got that one done. We got SPY now here. We want to maximize this sell for a moment. Maybe change the style a little bit. Maybe throw it into, yeah, no, you know what? That's good. So we'll back up to the next chart. Let's jump out of there. So what do we got here? Let's throw on some studies. All right, so what else would we do in a day trading situation? Well, we'd want to watch the some market breadth indicators, right? So if we go in, perhaps we want to look at advancing issues versus declining issues. Give this a different time frame. All right, we go into style. Clean that up a little bit. I'll turn on some drawings I've got, just kind of get that set up a little bit. Don't need the sidebar in that one. And in here, market breadth indicator. Widen that out for a moment. Throw this into a new style, get that cleaned up a little bit. We don't need 2 days. And the same with this one, we don't need 2 days here. Should have caught that the first time. All right, go back in there, put that on today. All right. Change the drawings there. Now we can take SPY and give ourselves a little bit of an anchor. So if we're going to trade on a 1 minute or a 2 minute, we still need to keep track of what's going on in the market on a higher time frame, right? We need an anchor chart. So we can throw this over, I'm comfortable with a 15-minute chart. We could definitely do that. Let's give ourselves a little more time. That's not too bad. All right. A little more time. There we go. So now we've got our trading time frame. We got some market breadth indicators. We can trade options from right here in the chart. We could use this last bar to keep track of the bonds and volatility. All right. So we don't need a sidebar here. We don't need a sidebar there. We could put a sidebar here and maximize this cell. Let's put in SPX. Throw that onto live news. Get rid of the chart. Exit back out of that. That way we'll get a little bit of a heads up if something happens to hit the marketplace that we need to know about. But we don't really want to give it very much room, right? So we turn off that sidebar, scrunch that down pretty tight. We can fix this up. Now remember, you can go back and you can watch these again if you missed something. If I happen to have been running through here too fast, you can always go back and take another look. This is one of the two setups that I find useful when I'm day trading, not just with options necessarily either. I have a futures setup that is pretty similar to this. Let's see. Yeah, 1 day is good. All right. So you can see what we've got here. We've got a way to monitor the market. We got market breadth indicators. We can watch volatility. We're watching the bonds. We've got a little bit of news. We've got an anchor chart. We've got advanced decline, the tick. We got what we want to trade. And then we've got the active dome to make our trades. So now we want to go up here, turn off customizing grid, and we are good to go. We could take trades based on what we're seeing here. We've got everything we need here, and if the market changes, say we don't want to go bullish anymore, we want to flip around and go short, we can come right back up here to the drop down and choose a different strike. Say we want to go to the put side, boom, we're done, we're ready to go. Just like that, no troubles, no muss, no fuss. So this is one setup, this is one way to do things. What you want to make sure of is that you save this after you get your work done, right? So we've got this built. It didn't take us very long. I think we're 10 minutes into the video right now. We can go down and we want to save this flexible grid. So when you hit save, it pops up with this box here. Perhaps call it intraday options trade setup. All right, and then boom, and we're done. Now, if this one interested you, you might find something perhaps like this useful to you. So here we've got tick, advanced decline, cumulative tick, where we're watching 4 market cumulative ticks through the day, so we can see when the markets perhaps change directions when they're running in sync. Right? We can see the close of the EU. We get a warning when it's last hour or power hour, the noon time. We can keep track of that while we're trading. And again, we've got a dome here. Now this one's a little different. This dome is connected to this chart. We don't have to do it that way. Obviously, we could add another chart and just go up here, turn on the grid, and we could add a chart there, turn off the active trader. Let's put in something that has options, since MNQ does not. So we could load up the futures options there, active trader, turn off the chart, and there you go. We go back up here. Remember to hit enter after you type in whatever it is that you're wanting options for. That will activate and tell this that you want to look at the options chain. The only issue that I don't like about this is that you can't add columns, right? Normally in my options chain, I want to see the delta and I want to see the gamma. Perhaps I'm going to do some gamma scalps or take some delta trades. You can't do that from in here. But after a while, if you've traded options for quite a while, you'll know what delta, in a good ballpark, you'll know what the delta ranges are, right? When you're one strike in the money, if you trade SPY every day and it's 2 days to, if it's 1 day to expiration, you'll know the delta, really kind of a ballpark, you'll know what it is, right? So that is the only downside here, but being able to swap out your options from right here at the dome, that is, man, I really like doing that. I don't like to trade options blindly. I don't like to go to the options chain, choose my option, enter the trade, and then come back to the charts. I really don't like that. So this is great. I enjoy trading options in this way. All right, and this is really what I wanted to share with you guys. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one.